Bonjour, mes amis. We are right now in the beautiful city of Lyon in a very interesting food hall, probably the most highly rated food hall in the entire world. And we are starting off with some tripe brioche sausage, classic Lyonnaise cuisine. Lyon is right in the center of France, and we are at a place called Les Garçons Butchers. The boys' butchers, I think, is what it translates to. So join me for a dinner here in Lyon, in Lyon, which is opened up by Paul Bocuse. So welcome everyone. I am in a very special place here, which is called Lyon. It's a food hall opened up by one of the most renowned chefs of all history. His name is Paul Bocuse. He was an idol of Anthony Bourdain, for example. He actually featured him when he was in his very last final year or so of his life. Anthony Bourdain got to meet him, and he was so happy to meet him. He said that he was the Muhammad Ali of the culinary world. So we're gonna have a traditional Lyonnaise cuisine in this place. We're gonna have 2 to 3 courses depending on how much food I can handle. We're starting with a very good wine from Burgundy. Let's try it out. You know, I'm not typically a wine drinker, but wow, it's actually really good. That is delicious. Very deep, not deep flavor, it's kind of like a sweeter. It has a kind of a dark flavor to it, but sweeter. It's interesting. It's very sweet. It's meant to combine with my second course, so I'm not going to drink too much of it. Well, right now I have a brioche tripe sausage. Let's try this out. I'll show you more as I get a bite into it first. With a nice sauce on it, look at that. So I didn't know that in French cuisine they actually had this type of pastries with meat. This is actually heavenly for me. I love meat pastries. Very different from what I'm used to in the UK. It's sausage, definitely. The sausage is not too loud. It's not like spicy. It's not even that fragrant, but it kind of melds nicely with the brioche. That's really good. It's kind of more of a subtle flavor. The sauce that they have with it is though really good, made with onions. Delicious. And we have a nice salad. The Lyonnese also are very proud of their salads, and of course some baguettes. So this is where we're at right now. This is Lyon, and right here, huge kitchen. That's the restaurant right behind me. It looks like a posh sausage roll. Yeah, this is the appetizer serving. We're getting served very little for a lot of money. Don't let this fool your impression. This costs €12, but Lyonnaise cuisine can get a lot less expensive. We're just in the super touristy area too. What? So I had to visit this place because food halls, have become really a massive thing all around many cities I visited, but especially New York. We also seen food halls, of course, in Seattle. It's probably one of the more original food halls with the Pike Place Food Market. And also they're popping up in London, they're popping up in many other cities around the world. But this one is built by like an actual master chef. It's not as greasy as a sausage roll. It's actually pretty pleasant. It's not too heavy for an appetizer, which is nice. Sausage rolls, are meant for a full meal. Wendy says, is it spicy? No, it's pretty kind of neutral in flavor. It's really good. It's just kind of balanced. It's very balanced. I like it because for a starter, you do not want something too heavy. Let's try the salad. This is a good salad. Great dressing. It has a vinaigrette on it. Now in Lyon, we're close to closing time, so a lot of things start closing at 3 p.m. 2 p.m. usually. Luckily, this particular restaurant is open until 3 p.m. But even the food hall is not open the entire day. This food hall actually closes during the middle of the day and then reopens in the evening. So if you're out eating and want to eat the best quality food in Lyon, which is the gastronomical capital of France, one of the gastronomic capitals of the world, some of the best chefs have come from here. As I mentioned, Paul Bocuse started this, but also Boulard as well, and many others. Let me know the other famous chefs. Actually, one of the first 3 Michelin-starred chefs was from here, from Lyon, and it was a female chef, which her photo is around the corner. So it's really cool to be in the city. Wow, that's amazing. So Michelle asks, what's the difference between Lyonnaise cuisine and French cuisine? So, it's French. France, pretty big still, but of course there are some regional differences with the cuisine. But when you think of high-end French cuisine, it's usually of Lyon. You know, Paris takes the back seat when it comes to food in France. But there is a lot of emphasis on chicken, a lot of emphasis on cured meats, which is what we're having right now. Also on offals. So if you really think that offals are awful, at least you have chicken here in Lyon. But we actually see it right across from us right now. So right over here, there's also stores, shops in this food hall where you could do your grocery shopping, which I'm gonna have a blast. Not too many restaurants are open during August, so I'm doing some home cooking. Today I made my first French press. And there is also bread right down there, right behind this other stall. Hello Darlene, hello Kay, hello everyone, welcome to the live video. What kind of meat, says Susie? I think this should be a pork sausage, though I'm not 100% sure. It's definitely made with offals. So yeah, it's a mishmash of different parts of the animal. Though the specialty here is beef, I'm not going to indulge in a beef meal. I'm a little bit, been having too many heavy foods these past 2 months, so I'm gonna indulge on a different type of meat, which I just mentioned, very famous in Lyon. Susie says, I love pork. Yeah, you'll find pork here. Definitely. Dia says it's a great foodie city. This food hall alone is amazing. It is a really, really cool food hall. So if you want me to show you around, it's going to close very soon, but if you want me to show you around, I will after I finish this meal. So another interesting thing about French kind of restaurants is that if they don't see you that you haven't finished your appetizer, they will not serve your main course. They're very good at serving you your main course when you're done with the appetizer. The appetizer here is called entree. The main course is called plat. It's not like in America, where you order your appetizer, you start taking 2 bites. Here's your hamburger. And then as you're halfway through the hamburger, would you like any dessert? That does not happen here, generally at least. Praline says, will you be cooking from where you live? Yeah, I think so. I have a kitchen this time around, so I already made French press coffee. I got myself eggs. I'm gonna get myself high quality eggs here to make a really great egg scramble. Maybe a nice avocado toast with some poached eggs from Lyonnaise chickens. No, I can't find French avocados, unfortunately. Neptuser says, however, if you never finish your entree, you'll never get your main course. Yep. You'll be forever stuck. No, I think they'll come to you at some point and ask you. They'll say termina. Pardon my French, was basically, are you finished? And yeah, they'll come at some point, but they'll take a little bit longer than an American place would, which is good. Oh wow, that sauce that they made. Great flavor of onions. Susie says, bring back your Cooking Through History show. They were fun, yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed them. That was old school. That was 2020, right during the big part of the pandemic. I did like 3 episodes of Cooking Through History. Too close. I'm not sure if this is proper manners in Lyon, but sorry, I learned from the Italians and I will never look back. Also, this is very common in Puerto Rico and very common in the US. Pretty much people do this. That was really good. Well, so Wendy asked, have I posted to Facebook? No, unfortunately I'm locked out of Facebook. I luckily have an old friend who works for Facebook, so crossing fingers. She just reached out to me. She was so kind enough. So let's give a round of hearts to my friend Jessica for reaching out. Of course, I'm not sure. Facebook is a gigantic company, but at least she reached out and offered some help. Din says you enjoyed it. No doubt about that. Yeah, that was a really good. It was really well balanced. I was a bit nervous ordering meat pastry for appetizer because I don't want to get too full. It's early in the day and it's 95 degrees Fahrenheit. I got update Nightbot. It's 95 degrees Fahrenheit. No longer we're in the Netherlands or the Low Countries. It's very hot up here. There's almost no clouds. It's pure sun. And you do not want to be too heavy walking around after eating too many meat pastries. So at least the cool thing about these restaurants is they tend to have 2 slightly different menus or carts, because menu has a different meaning here in France. So they have 2 different lists during their lunch and during their dinner. And the French are really well tuned, similar to the Italians, very well attuned to what feels better during what time of day. So generally they won't serve things too heavy during early in the day. And at night they won't just have salads on the menu, for example, because you want something a little bit more hearty. So they're very good at kind of balancing that out, which is very good. Kay says it's very hot still in Ireland. Oh, that's good to hear. Dindin says you enjoyed it, no doubt about it. And Neptunester says that would most likely be haram in Lyon. Does haram mean not so polite? Let me know. Susie says I need to learn how to cook. Yes, it is a wonderful skill. All right, everyone, slam that like button. Dia says, you seem invigorated. Lyon, I heard, can do that to you. Beautiful scenery and fantastic food. Yeah, I feel calm. It's a calm city too. It's definitely Paris light, which we're gonna see walking around tomorrow. So stay tuned. But it's Paris light. Paris has a lot of energy, hustle and bustle. It's really kind of as energetic as New York. But Lyon is very chill, very chill. If Paris is New York, Lyon is like Boston. Oh, Lino says haram means not kosher to Muslims, so it's a slang term. Cool, or slang when used in English. King Wifey says it's 104 degrees in Massachusetts. Es 104 en Massachusetts. Wow, eso sí, bien caliente. Super caliente. So, que bien. Aquí está en 95 grados. Ojalá tienes aire acondicionado. So I hope you have air conditioning. Luckily, I have air conditioning, which is good. Otherwise, I would not be able to sleep. Michelle says la tarte à la praline or dessert. Oh yeah, that's very famous. Maybe if there's enough space. Don't mind me, I'm making a live video.
Okay,
yeah.
Can I say hi?
Yeah, you can say hi. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I say hi. Welcome in Lyon.
What's your favorite thing about Lyon?
Oh, the club, football club.
Football club. Oh, cool.
Allez l'OL. Allez les Gourmond.
Very cool. DS says it was 105 in New York City yesterday. Oh my God, yeah. Well, I'm glad to have, I feel invigorated partly because of the weather. So if you're wondering why I'm glowing, it's because A, I'm tan, and then B, because I love hot weather. Susie says, ooh, pink sugar. Yes, it's very common. It's an interesting dessert. I will feature at least once. I'm not sure about today. I gotta see if I have space, but it is a very interesting dessert. Is it really true that French children drink wine with their dinner, says Sarah? I don't know, but they do make wine dishes for kids. And this is depicted in Anthony Bourdain's show of Lyon. So during his Parts Unknown series, which is his second series, he ended up doing an episode on Lyon, met Paul Bocuse when he was about 88 years old, I think. He was very late age. He passed away just a year or two after that. And during that episode, he went with Paul Bouloud, I think is his first name? Bouloud, Chef Bouloud. Remind me of his first name. To his hometown, which is in Lyon, but it's like in the outer areas. And they end up having food at his home, at the school that he went to as a little kid, to have food at the cafeteria with all the other little kids. And one of the dishes is some meat doused in wine sauce. And you see the kids just eating it like normal. So it was very normal. Thank you, DS. I appreciate it. Daniel Ballou. Thank you so much. Clement says you're in a big football city. Oh, that's interesting. Is it really true that French... so, yeah. Susie says nothing happens in Susie's kitchen, unlike Kay's kitchen. Hey Judith, nice to see you here. Welcome. Nice to see you here. I haven't seen Judith in a while. Hope you're doing well. So Martin says, Ariel, to let you know you're not finished, put the knife and fork as an open scissor. If you want to let them know you're done, even if there's leftover, put the knife and fork next to each other on the plate. Interesting, Martin. So Martin recommends doing this if you're not finished. If you're not finished. That's interesting. Is that a French thing, Martin? Do let me know. And doing this if you're finished. Huh. So finished, not finished. It's like, no, don't take my food. That's interesting. They put their wine in their bottles, says Kathy. So, yeah, well, I mean, wine in general... Oh, I'm backlit, sorry about that. Wine always comes in bottles, generally. Almost everywhere you go around the world. I mean, unless if you buy very cheap wine in cans. But, yeah, you can buy a bottle of wine. Here's going to be very expensive. So this is not quite like Italy, where you can easily buy a bottle of wine for like 12 euro, and it's good, or Spain as well. Here you'll be spending a little bit more. I'm spending here 9 euro for this glass. This is the more expensive. They had one that was like 6 euro. So it was between 6 and 11 euro for glasses. This would be the price of a bottle of wine in Spain. Susie says, at least in America, you place your napkin on your plate as a sign that you're finished. Yeah, but by the time you do that, Susie, the check is already on your table. In America, they serve very quickly. Ron says, any thoughts on relaunching a new FB and IG for urbanists? If you build it, they will come. The issue is not quite the page itself. Since I did not break any community guidelines, I'm locked out because of my constantly changing location, which is already tied to my personal account. So Facebook ties any page to a personal account. So there's really no way to work around that. And it's a bit weird because there are traveling Facebookers, like Nos Daily. Doesn't travel as much anymore, but he used to travel a lot and post while traveling. Drew Binsky as well. So it kind of sucks that they have that requirement. That came because of the 2016 election in the US. That strict rule about posting on a certain location. Adam says, are you more a beer person or a wine person? I prefer cocktails overall. So I prefer Aperol Spritz, a Negroni, a nice mojito. If I'm in Puerto Rico, definitely a piña colada, daiquiri. In the US, I also love my like Moscow mules are sometimes really fun to drink. There's a lot of the great cocktails out there in the world. Rum and Coke sometimes. But especially in Belgium, I really deeply enjoyed the beer. I really, really love the beer. I usually don't like beer too much. But over there, oh my god, the beer was on another level and more toward my taste. I'm not too much into wine, but when in France, drink some wine. Now, I gotta admit to you, this is nowhere as easy to drink as beer. So, it's probably very little chance I'll be drinking more than 1 or 2 glasses of wine. Ludo says, ask the other travelers how they do on Facebook. Yeah, maybe I should reach out to Drew Binsky. Let me know if you know any of the travel Facebook vloggers. Tamara says, so sad to hear about your FB craziness. Emily says, it's an etiquette rule. I always do it like that. Interesting. Thank you, Emily. That's cool to hear. Michelle, we're drinking Burgundy wine. Burgundy right now. It has a specific name, but the name has escaped me. Kay says, wine gives me a headache. Yes, so wine generally gives me a headache in the US. Basically anywhere that's not France, Italy, and Spain. Those three countries tend to make their wines with low in tannins and not too many sulfites. Let's see the cool. Alright, look at this. So here we have our roasted chicken in what appears to be a similar sauce, but let's see if the sauce is actually different. Beautiful. So chickens here are very highly prized. So they're probably using a very good free-range chicken here as well. And then the side dish is coming soon. You can even see a little bit of, I'm not sure what this is called, the skin of the chicken. Look at that. Anamasu says, thank you for the streams. Hope everyone is well. Yeah, Anamasu, likewise. I think the potatoes are good. No, I got the mashed potatoes.
So sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you so much.
This truffle.
Yeah, truffle. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So look at that. So this is truffle oil mashed potatoes. Here in Lyon, apparently they also love their truffles. Truffles are integral to a lot of dishes, the very famous ones, especially made by Paul Bocuse. So let's try it out. And this is a very grainy mashed potatoes. I like this. It doesn't seem too heavy on the cream. Heavy on the oil though, but not too heavy on the cream. That's nice. So DS tuning in right now actually is a chef. So DS, do remind me, are you a chef or you're a cook? Do let me know what rank you are at the moment. But DS is definitely involved in the culinary world. So DS just said that the French have influenced the world over for food. Oh yeah. All right, let's try this out. This chicken. Tamara says, I never met a potato I didn't like. So he was about to give me French fries. It was a mistake. But I had so many French fries, I'm like done with them. So I was like, oh no. So Diaz says, I am a professional chef and marketing consultant. Oh, thank you, Diaz, for your culinary knowledge on this stream. I haven't been able to read all of his comments, but thank you so much. So check out Diaz's comments on YouTube. So look at this. Ooh. It has a completely different taste from any American chicken I've had. And America does chicken well. We're not so picky with the quality of the chickens, but the preparations in America, in my opinion, are really good chickens. But this is very interesting. It tastes very different. I think it's because of the sauce. The sauce, it's brown. I think it might be a wine sauce, maybe. That's really good. The chicken itself is super tender, kind of has a bit of a more deeper taste to it. Hard to describe, but the chicken has a kind of a this deeper taste to it. You know, sometimes you have a nice American fried chicken. That chicken kind of tastes like juicy and kind of like very like it just fills your mouth with joy. This one is like kind of a, as opposed to a pop song, this one is more of a like a serious poetry reading in my mouth. That's how I feel. Let's try the mashed potatoes. Look at these super grainy mashed potatoes. I love truffle. Oh my god, super truffly mashed potatoes. It tastes freshly mashed. And this usually this kind of texture looks like they would use that kind of masher where it kind of takes out into strings. It's very interesting. Really good. Wow. Those are mashed potatoes. Oh my god. Oh, there's no question about that. These are officially mashed potatoes. If you had any doubts that these were mashed potatoes, well, now you know. The truffle tastes very natural. They say truffle oil, so usually truffle oil doesn't have truffles, but it does taste like real truffles. You don't get that kind of synthetic truffle oil taste that you sometimes get in America or UK when they do like truffle fries and things like that. You get that kind of natural truffle taste. Though I don't see any chunks of truffle in here. Wow. This is bringing me back to my childhood because this would be common also in Puerto Rico to have some chicken and mash. Wendy says, I never had truffle. Oh no, I would recommend it. In the UK you can find some restaurants with truffle. Maybe go to the local Italian restaurant. They might have something with truffle. The good one. Sure. It combines both. Wine is still strong. It's a different experience from drinking beer. I'm so glad I got this chicken. Ooh. Adam says, do you like mussels or escargot? Both. The mussels I had in Brussels were a bit underwhelming, but that's because I went to a touristy restaurant. But mussels, especially done Spanish style, are amazing. Escargot, I love it. I love escargot. And you can find it here in Lyon as well. We're close to escargot country. Now here is the thigh, not the thigh, the leg.
C'est une sauce aux anchois, monsieur. Tout simplement. On sera sur une bavette. Alors, pour la cuisson, monsieur. C'est assez net, c'est houbleux.
I'm excited for more chicken dishes here. Anamasu says, Man, I needed this show. It's so calming and delicious. I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Aubergine à l'italienne. Alors, si vous êtes un gourmand, je dirais pas
This is where it gets difficult. I have to like
fromage, crème,
dissect this chicken in order to get all the meat, every last bite of the meat as possible.
Allez, ça marche. Merci beaucoup.
Martin is giving an excellent pro tip. So a lot of people have mentioned that as normal etiquette in many parts of the world. But he says crossing a knife and fork on your dish, it means I'm coming back. I should have done that in Stockholm. Thank you so much, Martin. I appreciate that. And that's awesome to hear. Ah, the best part of the chicken. Now, I understand that everyone has their own different preferences when it comes to food. I understand that you might be concerned sometimes of eating a little bit too much fatty foods. I get it. But to me, ordering a chicken that is not a grilled chicken breast, any other chicken, and not eating the skin, to me is a travesty. No judgment. No judgment. Do you. But I just will cry internally if you do that in front of me. No hard feelings at all. I totally understand. But I will cry inside. Not outside, but inside. Gigi says, "Pass me the skin." Yeah. That's why I usually ask if I'm with someone who I know really well. Adam, oh my God, Adam. Adam, I'd rather not even answer that question. I don't know, Adam. I would rather not know. Alamo says it's a health concern for some people. Yeah, I get it. But I'm still gonna cry internally. Thomas has ever had chicken feet soup? I've had it maybe once in my life. I don't like it too much, but I heard that they are here, I think. This is where things get really difficult. The Lyonnaise chicken deserves some tears if the burger got it. Says the burger was more of a connection with my people, with my heritage. Here, not so much. So this is where it gets really difficult. How do you approach the situation? What do? Do you grab it and munch on it like a caveman? Do you to pick at it with the fork and knife? Is the knife is it useless, and do you just leave the knife? Let me know. How do you go about this entire situation? Because there's meat there. It's gonna be really hard to pick out. Another Stu says, Mikey Chen said he grew up eating chicken feet. Yeah, it's more common, I think, in Asian cuisine. East Asian cuisine. If you ask any questions, feel free to ask again. Michelle says, I'm in the process of moving to Cornwall. Come and try a real Cornish pasty. Yeah, I would love to. I can't wait to do an entire trip just for Cornwall. Marina says, I would eat it with my hands. Dia says, hell yeah, lick them. Grace says, Anthony Bourdain had an event in Seattle. I was gifted tickets for his Léal book. Sat by me, gave a free signed book, and that was pre-Crazy World. Oh, I'm so glad that you got to, get close to Anthony Bourdain. That's awesome. He truly was a genius in this show. So Mater says, you pick it up like the big dog you are and go to town. Munch, munch, munch. Mater's from Texas, so I wouldn't expect any less, Mater. Definitely. That sounds like the Texan way to do it. Some spare ribs, too. There we go, a little bit of the fatty part. You can tell how much I'm not a wine drinker by how little I'm drinking while eating this amazing chicken. So Stefan says sausage roll and salad are a rare combination. I think it might be a bit more common here, but let me know. I'm not too familiar yet with Lyonnaise cuisine. What happened in the restaurant? What happened is the restaurant opened again in French, says Sarah. What do you mean, Sarah? What are you talking about? Are you referring to Anthony Bourdain's Léal restaurant? Yeah, it closed down a few years ago, which is a bit sad. Yeah, both locations closed down. Kay says fingers were invented before forks. Oh yes. I used to watch Tony and Andrew Zimmerman travel and eat. Oh yeah, they did a few episodes together. That was awesome. Wendy says, where's the vegetables? So I was about to order vegetable of the day instead of mashed potatoes. But fortunately, the vegetable of the day was aubergines, which is eggplant. I am not a fan of eggplant. It can be done sometimes well. Eggplant parm is really good in America, but I really don't like. I find it to be a little bit of a boring vegetable. So I did not get the vegetable of the day. Okay, I'm gonna have space. Let me know if you want me to try the dessert. If you want to see the legendary Cafe Gourmond, let me know. Tamara says, I hope you're going to eat desserts because I'm feeling like something sweet. Let me know. Do you vote for dessert? I mean, I can handle a dessert. It was well-proportioned food. This could be a very expensive meal, that's for sure, because we're in a very touristy area. But because, for example, I ate a 3-course meal in another restaurant that's more kind of traditional. It's called a bouchon, which is a traditional eatery. Has kind of a pub feel, but it's meant for very good cuisine, or traditional cuisine. And that cost me, I was charged €30 for 3 courses. Feel free to ask me anything. Neptune Sir says, we are on a budget travel with lavish culinary experiences. Maybe something more decadent, says Miss Law. Oh, you don't know what Cafe Gourmand is? Let me know if you know what Cafe Gourmand is. Because Cafe Gourmand is probably one of the best culinary treasures that many tourists actually have no clue about. I was shocked at how little people knew about the Cafe Gourmand. It sounds like coffee, but it's much more. Sarah says, I meant everything yesterday was closed. So, yes, the majority of restaurants and cafes, butchers, boulangeries, which are bakeries, they are closed in August. You will find things still open. Since this is still very touristy, this is open. So if you come to Paris or Lyon in August and want to eat, you generally would have to go to the busy touristy areas, which is a bit of a shame because there's actually a lot of great restaurants all spread out throughout the entire city. For example, I'm not staying in the touristy area, and right next to me was one of the better known bouchons, which is the traditional food bistros here, and it was closed. There was also one of the top rated boulangeries were also close to me, closed. So a lot of things are indeed closed. But luckily you'll still find things open, and one resource I found is that the actual tourism board of Lyon, I forgot the name of the Lyon tourism board, but search Lyon tourism, and they have a list of all the open cafes, bistros, bouchons, and boulangeries open during August. So they have a full list. It's not 100% accurate, but they have plenty of options that you can find that are still open. Hey, Lorraine left a $20 super chat. Oh, thank you so much, Lorraine. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Lino says, strange since French mostly have vacation in the south of their own country. So I haven't been to the south of France ever yet. But Lyon is more towards the center, and yeah, it's pretty close during August. So maybe that's good news. Maybe the south of France is more open. Wendy says, oh my, your chest is appetizing. Wendy's eyes up here. All right, let's order Cafe Gourmand. Stay tuned. One more stop on this culinary tour. Oh, pure vodka, good. Hey, Sarah says, what is the difference between becoming a YouTube member or a Patreon member? You get all the same benefits. So you end up getting all the same videos and... Excuse me. You get almost all the same benefits, all the same videos, and bonus content. Sometimes you vote on next locations. YouTube gets an emblem and extra emojis you can use in the chat. Patreon doesn't have that, but you end up giving more to me, in essence, than to the platform. So YouTube takes away 30% of your $5 contribution. Patreon takes only up to 9%. Anywhere between 1% to 9%, depends on your country. which is much more. So I'm getting the majority of your contribution via Patreon. So it depends on you. If you want that little emoji emblem and extra emojis, it's cool. Otherwise, patreon.com/urbanist is the way I end up getting most of your contribution. All right, let's try Cafe Gourmond. Have you watched vids of empty elite estates in France? No, have not watched those videos. I didn't know they had videos about the empty villas of France. I've watched Downton Abbey 2, A New Era. That's a great movie if you want to see the south of France. We're technically not in the south of France, but we're close. Can you show that lovely, unapologetic, carnivorous plaid on camera? Ooh. It's a bit hard to show you at the moment. I'll show you soon. Dia says, what historical fact fascinates you most about France? The food itself. It's a bit tough to fully research all the food history because it's very complex, but it's fascinating that France is one of the few countries in the world that has mastered the culinary arts. Very interesting. Because US, for example, has mastered, I think, industrial culinary science. So we've gotten very good in industrializing food. But we haven't mastered culinary arts. And if we can infuse culinary arts into the US and combine that with our industrial might, maybe we can make something truly special. I mean, that's already evident with McDonald's many decades ago feeding billions of people, giving access to a burger that otherwise people would have not gotten access to, a nice ground beef patty. Starbucks later on gave access to better coffee than the Nescafe or Folgers. If you're other parts of the world, if you're not from Italy, basically Italy. If you're not from Italy or some of the Caribbean countries, you would not have had access to good coffee. Almost everywhere. Italy, Austria, Turkey, Middle East, maybe North Africa, I'm not entirely sure about that. Most likely North Africa, and the Caribbean and Central America. Everywhere else, you probably wouldn't have good coffee. But because of Starbucks, you end up getting good coffee in almost every part of the world. And that has been a great contribution. Also chocolate bars and confectionaries. We've been able to mass produce Oreos and Chips Ahoy and all these confectionery goods, Hostesses, cakes. We've been able to sell cupcakes and let them be preserved for months, ship them halfway around the world. I mean, that is incredible. US gets too much flack for its culinary innovations. It's had immense culinary innovations. But the thing is, it's lacking artistry for the most part. So if we infuse that artistry that France has, Italy also has that, Spain in some sense has that as well. If we infuse that with our industrial might, we'll have something very interesting. So yeah, I think France is very fascinating because it has been such a culinary powerhouse. It has spread its innovations far and wide, even more so than Italy. Italy, of course, people know it because of the pizza, but even more so than Italy. And even the pizza came via America in terms of exploring in worldwide popularity. But France single-handedly has changed the world's cuisine. Even Japan, which is also another country that could be said that is has developed culinary arts to such a gigantic degree, has had a lot of inspiration for France. And there is a difference, so a lot of people wonder, hey, are you saying that the food is not that good in X and X place? Sometimes yes, that might be the case. Sometimes the food is just generally not that good. But there is more evolved cuisines out there in the world. Doesn't mean that the cuisine is inherently bad. It's that the cuisine has had more time to evolve to becoming a very more refined series of dishes. So even if you compare UK, which is my personal favorite cuisine, I personally love UK cuisine, but it is very evident that UK is nowhere near as evolved as French cuisine is. There's so much more kind of range of dishes and nuances and cooking methods that you don't have in the UK yet. UK might get there, but not yet. Ron says Nightbot has had too much fun with coffee shops in Amsterdam. Maybe. Is French fries French? So the French fry that we know in America is derived from the French style fry, yes. Belgian fries are slightly different. So yeah, French fries in America are derived from French style fries. Even in Belgium, they might call the American fry a French style fry. And of course, UK has its own type of fries, and Greece also had its own type of fries, which were really good. Dutch Bike Blogger says, are you planning to go to the Netherlands? Oh, Dutch Bike Blogger, you have missed 3 full weeks of Netherlands content. I went all around the Netherlands. I did not go to the north area, but I went from Amsterdam, Zaanskans, Haarlem, Leiden, Maastricht, Rotterdam, everywhere.
Ouais, ça a été? Ouais. Est-ce qu'un dessert ou un café vous ferait plaisir? Un café là. Alors pour l'addition, ce sera directement à la crème là-bas, avec le petit papier.
Vous l'aviez noté déjà, je pense.
Pardon, monsieur?
Vous l'aviez, non, pas le café, mais
Oui, non, vous inquiétez pas, je ferai attention de ne pas compter des choses en double. Enfin, vous me connaissez maintenant, vous devriez.
c'est vrai?
Ouais. Vous devriez.
Bon, si on doit acheter les cartes de praline, c'est chez Joker ou c'est
Elles sont différentes. Ça dépend, moi alors après c'est très personnel, mais je suis pas fan parce qu'il est super fin.
Ouais, ça passe, ça me...
Ouais, voilà, je trouve pas ça assez gourmand. Voilà, j'ai pas donné, c'est selon les goûts. Je vous laisserai aller voir les deux, un peu plus, mais c'est vrai que, par exemple, la nôtre, je sais pas si vous l'avez vu, mais elle est assez gourmande, elle est assez...
So Diaz says Escoffier is the most respected French chef in history and worldwide revolutionized how kitchens operate efficiently. Yes. Yeah, thank you so much, Diaz. Escoffier. Yeah, that's very fascinating. He also popularized the use of recipes worldwide. So some of the original French recipes come from him too. So that's fascinating. Thank you so much, Diaz. Appreciate that. And Sarah just became a member. Sarah, thank you so much for becoming a member. I assume it was on Patreon. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Anonymous Stu says, how are you today? What is inspiring you at the moment? I'm doing well. I had an amazing French press coffee. First time I ever make French press coffee at home. So I either used to make drip coffee at home using a drip machine or espresso at home. And then sometimes I made cold brew. But today I made French press for the first time. It's a very difficult, arduous process of making coffee. It requires a lot of years of training, but I think I did well. By arduous process, I mean you literally just put boiling water in coffee grinds and let it sit for 4 minutes and press the plunge. That's it, you're done. It's really good. What time did you wake up today? Says Wendy. I woke up at 10 a.m. Suhail says, are you going for a stroll today? No stroll today outside. Tomorrow. Stay tuned. Dia says, I love my French press, not for the faint of heart. Yeah. I love my vintage Mr. Coffee, says Susie. Oh, interesting. Mr. Coffee, yeah. Percolated coffee. That's classic American coffee right there. Tamara says, I only drink French press coffee at home. Oh, yes. Actually, the shop where I bought my French press, I went to yesterday by the boat tour. That was in the center of town, but they're also here in this food hall. Sarah says, should I download the app? Yeah, it's up to you. Yeah, I think the app, the Patreon app, you can watch the videos via the Patreon app as well. The coffee from a French press is very strong, says DS. It really is. EDMO says, do you speak French? Ooh, oui. I only know a few words. I don't know too much for French yet. Only a few words. I can greet someone. I can ask for a table, and I can compliment the meal. Ron says, are you forgetting to show the watch? I'm not wearing a watch today. It's too hot for a watch. And Caesar says, you must visit the secret passageways of Lyon. Ooh, I will look into them. Thank you so much. The Belgian fries look like state fair style fries, says Kat. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. It might have very well been inspired by Belgium. Wendy says, where's your ring? Wendy, I got divorced. Wendy. My ring is somewhere in my baggage. Tamara says, I'm waiting for cake. Yeah, me too. Waiting for the cake. French is beautiful language. Sounds like poetry, says so yeah, it definitely does. Definitely does. I used to do French press, but I had to switch to pour over because of the unfiltered coffee can raise my cholesterol, says Chris. That's an interesting connection. I wonder how. But yeah, pour over is also less acidic. Cold brew would be the least acidic. Café Gourmond.
Café Gourmond, ça marche.
Sarah, you're excited to be a member. Hey Sarah, I'm so glad you're a member. Thank you so much for being a member. Alright. So Lino says a filter absorbs the fatty bits of coffee. Ooh. Interesting, I had no idea. That's fascinating. Sarah says it's time for dessert. It's time. Let me know if you're ready. Alright, feel free to ask me anything about my travels here. Almo says Ariel's poker face with some of Wendy's comments is pro level. What kind of cake? Not sure if you said it. Oh, no. Susie, we're not going for cake. We're going for the Café Gourmond. It's more than cake. It's more than coffee. It's everything. Stay tuned. missing. All right, so there's something very interesting here. Here,
Creme Brulee, fondant au chocolat, tarte à la praline, café Gourmond.
in Lyon, it's more normal to pay at the cashier than pay at the table. This apparently is not common in most places in France, or at least definitely not Paris. Let me know, French urbanists, have you seen this anywhere else in France? But here it's normal to just pay at the cashier when you're done. But they don't rush you out the table. They give you kind of the check, I think, and then you go up and pay at the cashier. So yeah, Les Garçons Butchers is where we're at right now on Lyon Food Market. And here's the cow with all the different cuts of steak in French though, which is interesting. Oh, cool. Glad to see it in French. Let me know, what's your favorite? What's the name of the ass? Rond de Guite. That's the ass. To beef or not to beef? That is the question. And today I decided not to beef. Missing.
That is for you.
Ooh, wonderful.
Et tu pourras nous faire un café gourmand en plus à la 41.
Perfect. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Café Gourmond. This is a true culinary secret. Do not tell the world. We're eating this in confidence with each other. Right here we have a café. But what makes it gourmand, because this is café, what makes it gourmand is this. Huh. I'm not sure what this is. I think this is a praline. We'll figure that out later. But it's this. A little sampling of each of their desserts of the day. Look at that. We have the Praline Tart, which I think this is a praline too. I'm not 100% sure. But this is a unique of Lyon. We have what appears to be flan or creme brulee. Ooh, a little slice of creme brulee, a little spoonful of creme brulee. Ooh, I'm excited for that. Ooh, I heard that Lyon is also famous for this. They're kind of like chocolate fudge cake. Some places even do chocolate lava cake, which is fascinating. And I think this is a compote. Do let me know what this is. It looks so good though. Oh my god. Is this like a panna cotta? I think it is. Wow. Okay everyone, so you gotta keep this a secret. You can't tell anyone about the beauty of the Café Gourmond. You can only tell your friends, your family, your significant other, your neighbor, and maybe your arch nemesis. But that's it. Don't tell anyone else, okay? Don't tell your dentist. Don't tell your cardiologist. Don't tell your gastroenterologist. That one is a hard one to pronounce. Don't tell your local politician. Keep this. All right. Let's try the creme brulee. That's so good. Wow, super creamy. Mmm. Susie says, cafe what? Someone spell it? Gourmand, like gourmet, gourmand. So someone can spell it, but gourmand in English also means someone who really likes high-end foods. Oh, that is so good. That is a great whipped cream. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Now let's try the Praline Tart. Let's see how it is. Let's try this out. So the praline tart is definitely grainy. You get that nuttiness. This one is more nuttier. More nuttier. You get kind of this kind of graininess that comes from the kind of all that sugar crammed in, and the tart itself also kind of grainy. Also kind of tastes like the shortbread crust of a cheesecake. It's a very good tart. It's very tart as well in terms of flavor. Good espresso. Yeah, very good espresso. So I was about to go to one of the other restaurants here, a little bit further down. They also have good reviews. But when I looked at their espresso machine, my eyes were filled with horror. I could not believe my eyes when I saw the espresso machine. I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't. So I went here instead. And the reason my eyes were filled with horror was because it was an automated espresso machine where you press a button, it comes out. Here they actually had a real espresso machine. And that's when I knew it was meant to be. Alright, let's try this. I think this is panna cotta. Let's see. Oh yeah. It is panna cotta. Ah. Oh, I love panna cotta. It's the best thing ever. Wow. And let's try the chocolate. It was a chocolate bomb. I think I've had enough chocolate, but everything else is amazing. The chocolate one is done really well, but damn, that's pure chocolate in my face. Like, Susie says I'm going crazy here. Where did you last use Facebook? Maybe you left your keys there. Says I don't know. Last video I posted was yesterday during the day. Life is what you get to eat. That's right. Greek says, having a good day, everyone. I'm going to make some cupcakes now. Oh, glad you are. Okay, let me finish this up. So I can show you a little bit more of the food hall before it closes. Here. He says, I'm pulling my cupboard apart, looking for chocolate after seeing this. I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm just deeply in love with this panna cotta. This is amazing. Okay, now I'm really full. That's a lot of food. Let's try this out. It has a candy taste to it. It's good if you like candy. I don't like candy. Unless if it's Reese's peanut butter cups. Sarah says, I'm now doing my coffee. I'm glad you are. Renee says, this stream is not sponsored by Monsanto. No, it's not. So it's funny, in Anthony Bourdain's show with Daniel Boulud and the Lyonnaise chefs, Daniel Boulud says that he didn't even encounter processed food until his late teens, early 20s. When he went to like America, or I'm not sure where he went, but he said that he didn't encounter it all the way until his late teens, early 20s. It blew my mind. I was like, wow, living here, you did not have not even one processed food? That's fascinating. Marta says, by the way, greetings from the Netherlands. Martin, thank you so much for tuning in from the Netherlands. I appreciate you. Renee says, no creme brulee. We had a tiny little spoonful of creme brulee. It was really good. The crust wasn't that kind of crispy, I assume because they already cracked it. But you did have those sugar crystals on top. It was very creamy. It was really good. Janice says, where exactly are you? I'm in Lyon, France, in a food hall called L'Oeil.
On a plus de verre à eau. Hello?
Hi.
Pour la 24.
Ouais, tout de suite.
Du coup,
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you so much. All right, so that was the restaurant. Really cool place. Ended up costing 52 euro. So it's 52 euro, which is pretty expensive for that type of food. But again, we're in the touristy area. But it was worth it. I'm glad I went here. But generally, if you go to a traditional bouchon, probably be spending around 35 euro maximum. All right, let me show you. So the market luckily is still a little bit open, so we can show you a few things. Bonjour. Almo says another day off for Monsieur Gimbal. Yes, I went handheld because it was mostly just a food broadcast. So more restaurants are here. There's a few different style of restaurants. Here's the cured meats and the butcher as well. And look at the chickens. Those are the highly prized chickens. Probably a chicken we had. Oh my god. Oh my god. Probably one of the chickens we had. Ooh, cheeses. Cheeses, this is a lot of cheese. So this is what Lyon is also famous for. Look at these meat pastries. Oh my god. They're like the pork pies from England. I didn't know that Lyon had a tradition of this. It's so fascinating. Maybe I should buy one of those, take it to go. Susie says they're log pies. Is that how you call them? Let me know. There's a supermarket here as well with fresh veg, fruits. A lobster place. That's fascinating. Oh my god, with lobster rolls. Look at that. Bonjour. Bonjour. We got sandwiches as well. So the Praline Tart was this. That's what we had earlier. Wow. Very fluffy. Wendy says, go back. So this is not a sample heavy market though, so there are very few ones I encountered. If you want charcuterie, you can come here. Chocolates. Janice said, I just ate a banana. I am full. Yeah. We have coffee down there. Susie says, I'm rarely starving this early. Oh, yeah. So here is Monsieur Paul Bocuse, 1926 to 2018. Oh, look, and there's a huge mural of Paul Bocuse right over here. Look at that, wow. Let me show you a little bit more of the market. There was a second level, but it's closed. I'm not sure if they opened up on weekends or maybe it's because it's August, but there's an entire second level with even more restaurants, or at least more seating for the restaurants. So it says, Pope or even Emperor of Gastronomy. Accolades abound for this iconic figure of gastronomy worldwide. An absolute record holder in terms of longevity. With his 3 Michelin stars shining bright since 1965. This man never lost a Michelin star, apparently. He had a 3 Michelin star restaurant right here in Lyon. So what more natural than this temple of gastronomy, the Halls de Lyon, should in 2006 be named after Paul Bocuse. Wow. And here are all the options. So that's the directory. So much nicer than the Essex Mall. Yeah, Susie, it's a bit... Yeah. Essex Mall is not more about finding a fine dining or not high-end. Let's see if I can find the photos of the... Yes, the female chefs. So this is another famous one. This is more traditional Lyonnaise cuisine as well. Chez Les Gourmand. Ron says, I have 4 Michelin tires. One is flat, though. So things are closing up, but they will open up once again around 7 p.m. Lino says, was he the inventor of Nouvelle Cuisine? Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. So here we have the mothers. Les mères? I think that's what it means. The mothers of Lyon. These are the women that started Lyonnaise cuisine as the gastronomical capital. So while many places around the world, for most of world history, men mostly been the chefs, here in Lyon, actually, it's not the forefathers, it's not the founding fathers, they're the founding mothers of the gastronomic culture here in Lyon. These are all the women. Mel Felou, traditional Lyon cuisine. This is what François Benoit Fayol, born on September 2nd, 1865, served her customers. She worked in the kitchen of the wine bistro her husband opened, and it was there that a certain Eugene Brazier came to learn the ropes, borrowing from her recipes for her famous artichoke heart with foie gras. Miss Lob says Ches is pronounced Shay. Shay. Okay, thank you so much, Shay. Mare Bizolon. During the First World War, soldiers arrived at Perache train station were welcomed and refreshed in the open-air bar Esplanade, a generous initiative by Clotilde Bizolon with the help of Edward Herot, the mayor of Lyon. This temporary building was more sturdily built thanks to donations by friends and passerbyers. She offered free lunches for soldiers until the end of the war, and she was nicknamed the Mother of the Infantrymen. And she won a Legion of Honor. Wow. Legion of Honor is basically the Medal of Honor equivalent for France. Look at that. That's so cool. Look at this woman. Having left her village in Ain with her son in arms, she reached Lyon, where a few years later in 1921, she moved into 14 Rue Royale. She quickly earned herself a worldwide reputation. She was the first and to date the only person to have been awarded 3 Michelin stars twice. This woman won 3 Michelin stars twice, and this happened in 1933, and they were for a restaurant in Lyon and her chalet at the Col de la Loire, where Paul Bocuse and Bernard Picard trained. Oh my God. So Paul Bocuse learned under this woman in her restaurant. She had 2 3 Michelin star restaurants. It's crazy. She is definitely the godmother of the Michelin stars. And she trained 2 of the most famous chefs as well that lived on in the next generation. Wow, the Lyon mothers. That's cool. There's macaroons as well. Julia Child introduced French cuisine to the U.S. Yeah, in Mass, yeah. She worked with a French chef for the first version of the book. There's an entire HBO series on it. All the wine. Hey, Diaz says, c'est un video fantastique, introspective. Ariel est une personne especial. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Ooh, prunes. Oh, I love prunes. Oh my God. Those are some good-looking prunes. Prunes. Wow, candy pineapple. Anasu says, you sound great speaking French. Ooh la la. Merci beaucoup. Monsieur, en menu. There it is, Léon. Léon de Lyon Barbecues. And a parking lot. Wow, beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this culinary adventure here. The first of a few in France. The rest of the broadcasts are going to be in France, so we're bound to come across more food here. I am really full. That is a very big, filling 3 courses. If you want to see more bonus videos, you can become a patron, patreon.com/urbanist. We just posted a video on self-playing instruments, a museum completely dedicated to it that was found in the Netherlands, in Utrecht. Martin says, are you going to Dijon too? I'm not sure too much about Dijon. Are you talking about Dijon? The one named after mustard? I'll look into it. I do love medieval cities, so maybe. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Justine says, go take a nap. I think I just might. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a good day, everyone. Au revoir, mes amis. Bye-bye.